समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या? समझ में नहीं आया।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉपअप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.
India has initiated what will become the biggest structural shift in its military aviation ecosystem since independence, opening the door for the private industry to move from being suppliers and vendors to becoming central players in the country's most ambitious combat aircraft program. A request for proposal, that is the RFP, has been issued by the Aeronautical Development Agency on Wednesday for the development of the advanced medium combat aircraft prototypes. It lays out a completely new industrial structure for India's fifth generation stealth fighter program. State-run Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, that is the HAL, has been kept out, and the Tata Group, a solo bidder, followed by a consortium led by Bharat Forge with DPSU BAML and private firm Data Patterns India, and another consortium led by private firm L&T with DPSU Bharat Electronics Limited and private firm Dynamatic Technologies have come in. The winner will be selected based on the technical evaluation of the bid and the price, that is the L1. It seeks the development of 5 AMCA flying prototypes and 1 structural test specimen besides associated tooling, jigs, fixtures and testing infrastructure. However, beyond the technical details, the RFP reveals something much larger. India's attempt to create an entirely new aerospace industrial ecosystem around the AMCA program with the private sector embedded at its core. The program will continue to remain under the design control of the ADA, which retains ownership over the aircraft's configuration and architecture. But the selected bidder will be responsible for end-to-end realization of the prototypes, including manufacturing, assembly, systems integration, infrastructure creation, and support during flight testing and certification. Now remember, this is far beyond a normal manufacturing contract. The idea is to create a long-term aerospace ecosystem around the AMCA program. The selected bidder will have to establish manufacturing infrastructure, tooling and associated test facilities, besides integrating line replaceable units, that is LRUs, sourced through multiple channels, including equipment supplied directly by ADA and systems procured through ADA, nominated vendors. The bidder will also support ground testing, structural testing, flight testing, and certification activities, including troubleshooting and defect rectification during the developmental phase. As per the RFP, the winning bidder will have to incorporate a completely new company within the 3 months of selection, on which the contract will eventually be placed. The new company cannot have foreign shareholding beyond passive institutional investments permitted under Indian regulations and must remain under the ownership and control of a resident Indian citizens. The RFP specifically mandates that the management and control of the company must vest exclusively with resident Indians, including the board of directors, the key managerial positions such as the chief executive officer, chief financial officer, and the chief operating officer. The move signals the government's intent to ensure that while India may collaborate globally for technology and systems, strategic ownership and control over the AMCA ecosystem remains entirely domestic. Now, sources said the structures also indicates that the government intend to create a dedicated aerospace entity that could eventually handle future production and long-term support for the aircraft. The AMCA structure marks a significant departure from India's traditional military aviation model dominated by the HAL. For decades, HAL remained central to fighter aircraft manufacturing and integration programs, with private industry largely confined to supply chain roles. The AMCA model, however, distributes manufacturing and systems integration responsibilities across the industry, while ADA retains the design authority. The RFP also mandates that the selected bidder must participate in future contractual processes related to series production and repair and overall activities after the successful completion of the prototype phase. This has clearly been designed as a long-term industrial partnership rather than a standalone prototype contract. The AMCA program remains India's most technologically ambitious defense projects. The selected bidder will not merely fabricate aircraft structures, but also manage integration and interface compatibility across multiple onboard systems and avionics supplied through different channels, one of the most difficult aspects of modern fighter aircraft development. The program also includes responsibility for maintenance support, documentation, and periodic upkeep of prototypes through the testing phase. The RFP further makes it clear that all infrastructure, tooling, testing facilities developed under the program will have to be maintained by the bidder for the duration specified in the contract. The technical proposal will first be evaluated by a techno-commercial evaluation committee constituted by ADA, following which the financial bids of technically qualified bidders will be opened. The final selection will be based on the lowest price quoted. The AMCA program is expected to face major technological and industrial challenges, including stealth integration, advanced avionics architecture, sensor fusion, and engine dependency for the initial variants. For the first time, India is not merely asking private industry to manufacture components for a fighter aircraft program. It is actually asking industry to stand inside the program itself. I'm Snehesh Alex Philip for ThePrint. Do subscribe to ThePrint's YouTube channel for more such videos.